Yeah, the flipping screen's restarting on me. As long as you hold these things by all 4 pins, there's no way static's going to do any harm to them. Right, so I need a bit of I'm not going to put much silicone on because these rubber things have already got they're already impregnated. I just basically want it to stick to the MOSFET so that it doesn't keep falling about. You know, when you put these things on, getting the rubber positioned properly is a real pain. Right, I need to get that in the hole. I think that'd be best to use my tweezers like this. Oh yeah, the middle pin is bent out a bit, which is annoying. Right, is that hole lined up? Okay, I'm not going to tighten these screws fully at this point. I just want to put the screw in to keep it lined up because oh, the flipping camera stands in the way now. Flipping camera. I'll have to move the camera a bit. It's right in my way. To be honest, I think I need a smaller screwdriver to get these started. It will be a lot easier. Where am I? Let's see, will this one fit? Yeah. Okay, right, I've got one located in, I've got the screw started. Just literally, I'm not going to tighten them up yet. I have to keep touching ground just to make sure I'm not going to generate any static. Like I say, I don't need a lot of this because these didn't even have any on when I took them out. Oops. This rubber stuff, it's impregnated with silicon. You've got to be careful with high voltages and stuff like that, because you put too much of this stuff on, it can actually cause problems later on. If it oozes out everywhere, the middle pin again. Still haven't got that middle pin out far enough. Actually, this screwdriver is not magnetic. Oh, it's something. I'm still going to use the big one because it's magnetic and it holds things for me. Well, now I've got it in there, I can use the little one. Yeah, I don't want to tighten them up until I've soldered them. I'll tell you why. Because the tab, the back tab, is attached to this heatsink, and when you're soldering, it can make it harder to solder them in. So I'm going to solder. I'm putting the bolts in to make sure that they're located properly, and then I'm going to solder them in, and then I'm going to tighten the screws fully. Basically what putting the screws in, make sure that and tighten them a little bit, make sure that the back of the tab is flush against the heatsink, so that when you solder them, you're not, you don't have to, what I mean is, if these were slightly away from the heatsink, right, and there was a gap at the back, and I solder them first, and then I tighten the screw, it would put strain on the legs at the bottom, and it could cause a junction break. You can sometimes break the junction between one of the legs to the internal semiconductor material if one leg is forced up or down when you're tightening the screw. So you've got to make sure they're flush against the heatsink, and then you basically, once they're flush, you can back the screw out a bit and solder them and then tighten them up. So I'm basically making sure they're right flush against the heatsink first, then backing the screw out a bit, and I can see that they are flush, because as I said, heat will be dispersed through the tab and into this block, and it takes a lot more soldering. You have to put the heat on a lot longer, which is bad for them as well. Now I've got two on the other side to do. I've got two on the other side which you can't see at the moment, but I don't want to turn the camera, I can't really move the camera around there, but it's the same process that I've just done. Oops, I pulled my thing off, my insulation collet thingy. Oh, these legs want sorting out because they're not, I'm touching this to ground myself. light over here now. That was a bit awkward when it went in. Just backed it out a bit. That's quite a bit there. I went and got a bit too much on there really. I don't want it oozing everywhere. It can cause arcing. What happens is that the thermal conductive paste, although it's silicon at the beginning, as it ages it dries out, and eventually it dries to the point where it starts to crack, and it can actually start to harbour moisture at some point as it ages, and then you end up with sparks. It's not so bad. So as I say, I'm going to tighten, then I'm going to back off again. I want enough tension on it that it holds it flush against that heatsink, but I don't want to disperse all the heat when I'm soldering it. I think I've got them about the same. I'll stick that over there. Right, okay, all the MOSFETs, the new MOSFETs are installed, ready to solder. My arm, what's wrong with my arm? I keep getting this, it's like I've got a real stiff shoulder, and it's kind of locks in place, and it hurts a bit, you know. Don't know what I've done there. I'm actually going to pop the relays back in as well. I think I might as well pop them back in and resolder the MOSFETs and the relays and do it all in one go. That I don't have to keep turning the soldering iron on and off. Because the relays are ready. Make sure the legs are not bent. What are you interested? Oh, what? Something on? Oh, you posted something. Ally. I don't think Ally's watching me. I'll have to check that out. I usually put the pins in and pull it out to make sure they're not bent over. That's a bad thing. You can push your relay in, pull it out and find one of your legs is doubled over, and trust me, you don't want to do that because you can end up with a situation where one of the connections is not connected and you're thinking, what the hell's wrong with it? Why is it not working? So I'm basically putting them in. That connection timed out. AT, that page doesn't work. It timed out. That page is not loading for me. I'll try again. It's not loading. Take that out again, make sure. And that's definitely fitted right. No, still won't load. Nope. F5 is not going to help. I loaded it twice. Some of these pins might want solder cleaning a bit. Actually, no, I'll just try a different hole. Oh, it wasn't that one. Well, I think it's going to go in that one. Oh, there's some solder foul in it. I'll try the other one. Oh, wrong way around. Now that relay, there's some solder on it, it wants cleaning off. I'll use my knife. Yeah, there's a bit of a solder blob on these legs. It might be China I might have some firewall blocks. I'm not worried about that. I am not in the least bit bothered. Just busy. Let's try this one again. Oh, what the heck? The holes must have some crud in there. Smoke test. I don't do smoke tests. I have fuses. It's called a fuse. Basically, that means that if there's an overload, it pops a fuse. So what I'm going to be doing is starting off with I'm going to have a 5 amp fuse in there. Oops, this flipping leg's bent over again. I'm worried it's going to snap off. Don't you dare break off on me. That would be extremely bad. I've had that happen before. Relay legs snap off, and then you're in the deep shit, because it means you've got to buy a new relay or hack it with a piece of wire. I've done that before, but trust me, that's not somewhere where I want to go. Right, Doc said this is another one with flipping solder that's on the pins, stopping me from getting the damn thing in the hole. I can see the solder on here. It's I often use a soldering iron to try to remove excess solder, but that doesn't always work. Sometimes you end up putting more solder on. I ordered a flux pen, by the way. I really need one. I have never had a flux pen before, believe it or not. I used to use a solder tip cleaner thing to do that sort of thing, really, but maybe I should put this relay in first. Yeah, I can see better now. This is why I had to take them all out. That hole's got some crap in it. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Because some of these relays are not fitting properly. I am going to drill the holes out, clear them out properly, because I am having such a problem getting these to seat properly. You wouldn't believe. That one's fixed. I'm going to clear the holes out with my drill. It's the only way I can do it properly. Yes, I should have done that earlier. I've done it before. It's double-sided. All I'm doing is clearing the holes out. It will make life so much easier. There's a big lump in there. You'll be surprised how good a job I did of desoldering most of these. I did a pretty good job getting all that solder out of them when I did using my solder sucker, but there was just a few holes that were just, yeah. Still not right. That's better. Right, we should have no more problems putting these relays back in. That's better. That's better. Much better. Yeah. Snug as a bug in a rug. That one's got serious issues. There's solder on the legs as well. Try that one. Okay. Make sure all the pins are intact. Yep. I'm just checking again because sometimes you push it down and you're not sure. You feel it feels weird. I'm going to be busy soldering quite a bit. This one is just the legs on this one. Hang on. Just a minute, I can't get it out now. I'll take the other one out a minute. Can't get it to it. Why is this one so tight? Let's put in this one. Yeah, it goes in that one. Right, okay. All the relays are now in situ. I don't want them falling out until I've soldered them in, so I'm going to have to be ambidextrous is the word, is it? I'm going to have to hold the flipping things in while I solder it. Oh, actually, let me think. I don't want to be having all that hassle. Blue tack. Let's try some blue tack. Blue tack. Now, if I stick the blue tack between each one, they should hold each other in. I'm hoping that they won't fall out when I turn it upside down. Blue tack down the side there. Just need to hold them in. If this lot falls out, they're all going to fall out in one lump. But there's some of these relays won't fall out, right? But that's why I've stuck the blue tack between them, because the one that won't fall out will hold the one that might fall out. Right, let me get this thermal heatsink grease out the way, compound stuff out the way, because I don't want that. I don't want to end up standing on the tube. And have I forgotten anything? Have I forgotten to put something in there? No. I put those capacitor. I changed the capacitor down here. Right. Well, you can't see it. It's right at the back. Anyway, I changed one capacitor. The rest of them were all fine. Nothing wrong with them. So I've got to turn this around. Oh, let me get the drill out of the way now. Let's switch the soldering iron on. I think I might make more coffee first, I don't know. I don't know yet. This has to be turned around. I think you'll be able to see when I flip it over, I don't know. Right, are these relays going to stay in? Yeah, they are, they're not falling out. I need some support over here at the back. I want to keep it nice and flat. I'll stick this towel underneath. It'll also help with the support on the relays. Oops. Oop. Right, that's it. I just want some underneath support on these relays. Close peg. Okay, that's nice. That's nice and level. Right, we've got to wait for the soldering iron to warm up. Now, my soldering iron sponge is dry. It was dry. Right. It's not anymore. Oh, my arm. Right, the soldering area is basically around about here, so camera wants adjusting. I think I'm going to get it all in. Yeah, I think so. Right, okay. Actually, the MOSFETs were the ones I'm soldering back in are over here. Oh, that's out of camera shot. So, just a minute. I've got the camera too near now. Right, the MOSFETs are over here. One, two, three, four, and my relays are over here. So now you can see, you'll be able to see everything now. Once I start soldering, I just don't want to be messing with the camera while I'm soldering because I'm too occupied. That's why I wanted to get this wireless remote control camera sorted out, really. But it seems too trivial for this sort of thing, so. How's this soldering iron doing? It's warming up. I want it nice and hot before I start because oh, Rusty's back. Russ sounds like he's full of beans. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I was looking. I've got a damaged pad actually. I have a damaged pad on here, so I need to. No, I don't know if I did that when I drilled it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I'll have trouble soldering that if I don't scratch that green stuff off. These are through holes, so shouldn't be a problem. Okay, right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna solder in a minute. I'm just resting my arm a minute. Once I get started soldering, I'm fast. I wonder what Rusty's going to do tonight. It looks like he's got a load of laminations there. I don't know what that is. I don't use Internet Explorer. I block Internet Explorer anyway. I don't trust a lot of websites. Okay, right, it's time to start soldering. 3, 2, 1. What should we do first? I think we need to do the MOSFETs first. So I'll start with the anode or the cathode actually, so that I'm grounded. Right, the MOSFETs are now officially soldered in. Once I've done all the relays, I'll turn it over and check to see if the solder's flowed all the way through the holes. If not, I'll come back and redo it. Mustn't forget the relay coils. I'm going to do the relay coils first, because it's the sort of thing you can forget and they're hard to see. They're very hard to see. Where the hell are they? Oh, they're over here. Plus, I need to check while I'm going if I'm not sure about something. Alright, relay coils 1, 2, check. 3, 4, 5, 6, check. 7, 8, 9, 10, check. Yes. Affirmative. Right. So I've got, now it's the contacts now. So I've got those. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the coils are done. I'm not sure about that connection there. My tip was cleaning, it's a bit grubby. Right, now it's the contacts. We have contact. Oh, that relay looks like it's sagging. No, it's not. Actually, I want to check to make sure it's pushed in right up, because it looks a bit. Oh, it's in. Right. Is that Alan? Is he back? Oh. Right, Schubas is in and out. That's one relay. Two relays. Three relays. Some of these take a bit longer because there's copper on the other side, and that slows things down a bit. It's the double-sided board stuff. It's just some of the tracks on the other side are just massive. Ball relays. Okay, 5 relays installed and soldered. The MOSFETs are all soldered. I'm just going to go and inspect those. Yeah, looks like we're all good. Okay, so everything's soldered in. I don't see any problems. Now I've got to go and tighten up the MOSFET screws. Oh, my arm. Right. Okay, right, I can take my blue tack off now. And I'll switch my soldering iron off because I think I'm done soldering. Oh no, I was going to check, wasn't I? Solder flow on the other side. Hang on. Just looking at the MOSFETs. Yeah, we've got solder coming out the other side of the. No, I'm looking at the wrong ones. Yes, we have solder coming out the other side of the board, which is what we want on the doubles, because it's through hole. Yeah, I haven't got too much coming out. That looks perfect. I used about the right amount of solder. I've got a few blobby bits, but basically right, if I get my magnifying glass on this MOSFET, I don't know if I can get it on there. I'm blocking the light. Actually, this one's turning around a bit. Right, if you look at this side, alright, you should be able to see, if I can get this lined up, the solder through hole on the MOSFETs has come through the board. Just a little bit too much on some of the pins, but it's fine. It's better it's better than not enough, because judging how much solder to put onto the iron and push through the through hole is very yeah, it's not easy to judge the amount, but it looks like it's just about right. I need a bit more light on it, really. Oh. There you go. You see that capacitor's in the way. It's not, sorry, mob. It's a mob, not a capacitor. So Russ is noisy. Where's that capacitor? That thing in the way. Anyway, you can see the there's a light reflection now. Okay, alright, let me just turn this soldering iron off before I burn the house down. Okay, right. Now I just need to re-tighten the screws on the MOSFETs. So we need to tighten these up now properly. Right, those are tightened up. Right. Now I've just got to think about this for a whole hour before I actually plug it in.